Let's go for Endless Misery to begin with. I think I'm gonna want to go something more like a Pathfinder. Avoid taking damage in order to become more powerful with each turn. They have blocks. Blocks are pretty good when enemies are going to be scaling their damage. The Pathfinders are children of Morrigan. They will avoid taking damage in order to become more powerful with each turn. When using their ultimate ability, Pathfinders gain additional energy and gain bonus cards from their deck. The amount of energy and cards depends on the amount of collected charges. They charge their ultimate by playing stance cards, and they have a passive skill here. Unfortunately, because I can't select it, I cannot demonstrate it for you, but we will be demonstrating in just a second. Let's do it. Endless Misery. Fight in an endless loop of misery and pain. Grow in power and overcome the difficulty. Fight. 3 fights to the Treasure Guardian. Let's go. So, let's get a little bit familiar with the base deck here. Can I pull up a character screen or anything? I can't pull up a character screen right now. Okay, so we have a base attack, 2 copies of it, 8 to 12 damage. We've got a stun. Stun's a chosen enemy for 2. This is a stance card. Importantly, all of the blues are going to be stance cards here. We also have Insight, duplicate the next stance card played. This itself is an ability as well. And then we have Block, gain 1 block. Block is just straight up prevent the damage from the next hit incoming. Lasts for only 1 turn though, so you can't just build too much of it. There's also Small Strikes, 3 hits for 4/6 to random enemies. There's another copy of Small Strikes, 2 copies of Onslaught in the deck as well, deal 1 hit for 4/6 damage. However, the damage is increased by 50% for each active block. 2 more blocks and another attack. Very basic deck here. Start off by using Insight Stun. Duping the stun on the enemy doesn't stun them for 2 turns. It's still only a duration of 1 stun, but another stun on top of a stun loses 25 armor from the enemy. Making it way more easy to be very aggressive against them. Let's Insight a block, getting 2 block available here. And then I'm going to throw out Small Strikes for 3 hits of 7 to 11 damage against an enemy with negative 25 armor. Onslaught, Small Strikes, and attack. Get him. So is it going to be a card pick after each victory? Oh, draw 4 cards. That's so big. Oh, that's so many cards. I like draw. Unused base energy carries over to the next turn. When you have only 1 focus increases damage by 50%. The effect stacks with itself each turn. You don't receive any damage, right? So for the first turn. Whenever you fight a single enemy, gain 1 energy at the start of each turn. I think I'm going to do that. A lot of these fights do become AoE fights, but this seems interesting. Unused base energy carries over. No, I'm gonna take duel. 2 fights to the Treasure Guardian. Let's do it. Does doubling the double work? As in you will double the next 2 stance cards after that? Yes. Gain 50% damage this turn, 10 armor if I let it elapse. I think here I'm gonna go Insight Stun on the Abomination here as well, get the negative 25 armor on it as quickly as I can. Insight the block, and then I've got Onslaught for some decent damage right now. Are you healing yourself? Enemy intends to heal. Okay, fine. We'll attack off to the left then. Insight available for another stun. Abomination is in the exact same position. I think I just take the exact same moves then. We can also see now Focus is growing on me. It's 2 stacks right now because I've had 2 turns taking no damage. The effect stacks with itself when you do not receive any damage. So our hits are just constantly getting stronger courtesy of that. Let's use Insight double block as well, and then another Onslaught. Also, having a look at the breakdowns of our ability, we draw 1 card for every 3 ultimate charges. We gain 1 energy for every 6 ultimate charges, so half as much energy. Small strikes is large strikes right now. I'm gonna still Insight block though. I really like having the Pathfinder ability grow here. Kills the AoE attack. Nice. Oh, that'll do it. Insight into block. We now use the Pathfinder ability. We now have 4 energy for the rest of this turn. And Onslaught was almost a single hit kill there. If they had a huge amount of barrier, that is. Night Stamina. Thank you for tuning in. Grave Walker's Touch. Deal 1 hit for 150% damage. Choose a card from the grave and ascend, return 3. So ascend, each time you play it, reduce the cost of this card by 1 this turn. Return 3 means it returns itself to your hand as many times as is dictated. It's also Blood Frenzy here. Deal 1 hit for 250% damage to all enemies, offer 5 HP, and then Rush at the very end, offer 5% of your max HP, draw 1 card. Its cost is reduced by 1 this turn. If I had the ability to support my HP, obviously, I'd happily take some of those offerings there, but I don't. So I don't know if I'm going to really be able to heal at all. Oh, boy. I'm starting to come to terms with the fact that this might be take nothing or take the Blood Frenzy as just a fight finisher. I think I just need to have an AoE. Break a free reward. Let's get a blood candle, I think. And a free runestone. Ooh, baby. First time in combat, increase your weapon damage by 50%. We don't care about that. Each card played increases your damage by 5% this turn is kind of nice, considering we intend to play a bunch of cards. But I think I might take Cracked Gar. At the end of the turn, deal 1 hit for 5 damage to all enemies. It's just a little AoE that happens while I'm kind of waiting, you know? Because a lot of this is going to be tanking up. Okay. Speaking of a lot of this being tanking up, it's time to tank up. Let's just throw an Onslaught out against the Bounty Hunter as well. Start working you down. Not going to be particularly quick about it, but feels right. Unfortunately, looks like I will be taking damage this turn. No real way around it. Can Insight the block this turn, but it's still gonna happen. Oh well. At least the ones that connect are the least damage. Tainted Force, 20% damage this turn, if not played 5, fine. I think we basically need to get aggression out there at every available opportunity right now. We're intending to buff this turn as well. Oof, that's really harsh. Stun you. I can't afford that. Disturbance as well. Your deck's being infected with obsolete cards. Play this card to get rid of it. I'm gonna try and avoid having to play that just for the moment at least. play another block and then use the ability for the extra energy. Onslaught off to the left. Now I take no damage this turn. We get to maintain our focus. Insight block will also help us maintain our focus this turn. Hey, Abatoth, welcome on in. Throw the onslaught out there. As soon as I only have one target left on the field, that's where we shine. Another stun on you, and then we wait. We got it. I'm gonna just use the Pathfinder's ability to draw a single card here. How much do you negate? Negates every hit under 12? That's the problem, because the small strikes are under 12. Never mind. That'll be enough. Doing well yourself, Abatoth? Whoa. Refreshing Breeze. Gain 1 energy. Offer 25% damage this turn. So you reduce your damage by 25% this turn. I think that's still probably worth it here. It's also raw power. Mark yourself or an enemy for this turn. Targets damage is increased by 100% and armor is reduced by 50%. Then one-man army. Deal 3 hits for 50% damage to random enemies. Gain 5 armor for every distinct enemy hit. Very stressful day. Felt like everything went wrong. Plus an anxiety attack while driving. That does sound like a deeply stressful day. Hope you find some time to chill, calm, just recover, frankly. I think maybe we take the Refreshing Breeze here. A little bit of extra energy goes a long way. Gain 5 armor for each instance of focus. That gets us more focused over the course of the fight. I think I'll draw an additional card for each unused block. Fight the Treasure Guardian. Dukes up, bud. Oh, that's a lot more than 1 enemy, so not really going to be able to get too much benefit out of this. Also, you're doing the multi-attacks as well. This is really bad for us. Oh, boy. It's inside a block. Yeah, this onslaught's not enough to do. Enough to any of them here. Hey, boy. Why? Let's block again. Offer some damage. Trying to get the 50% increase on this to wait it out. Oh, boy. Yeah, my blocks are going to disappear pretty quickly under the weight of 6 times multi-attacks here. There's Blood Frenzy. I just need to play it. I mean... I'm very glad in retrospect that I took Blood Frenzy. If I hadn't have taken it, I think I would lose this fight. I think now we actually have a chance. Okay. So, unused block of 2, so we're going to draw 2 extra cards this turn. Incoming 4 hits from you. You are immune to stun, unfortunately. You can't just hit you with a stun. Pathfinder's ability here. There's the blocks. I can't block 4 incoming hits in a turn? Really? At all? Which means most of my damage is about to disappear. My focus is completely gone. Man. The rats are like the perfect enemy to ruin our day. At the very end, I am also going to get another block. Doing the same thing again. Yeah, that makes sense. We have very little we can do except for exactly the same thing as again as well. Hopefully we manage to win the race here, though. Onslaught. Double natural attack as well. Oh boy, come on. Let me get some damage in him. This says plus 50% for each active block. Oh, its base damage is really low. That's what's going on there. Another Tainted Force for some extra damage this turn. Probably not relevant. Small Strikes has to go out. Basic Attack has to go out. Insight, Block, Refreshing, and then Onslaught for almost lethal. Alright, it's time for you to finally die. Oh boy. Well, it's a Treasure Guardian at least, so we should get some good stuff here. I think I want damage. I've got the multi-strikes as well. 2 fights the legendary encounter. Yeah, fights like this are so much simpler for us. Gonna be intending to buff. Throw down a defend, and then just 2 attacks will do enough. I love that my AoE hit at the end of each turn occurs after they try and summon an ally. Deeply handy. And double stun that target as well. Lower its armor. Give myself an easier time dealing with it later. Yeah, armor has also been significantly lowered. Thankfully, the enemies aren't really aggressive. I'm gonna insight the Refreshing Breeze here. Largely just to get more into my ultimate. I feel like I'm gonna get a couple turns down the line, maybe even just one here. Yeah, I'll play the insight and then use the ultimate. Double block sets up for onslaught. Onslaught. Get him. Bloodlust. Deal 1 hit for 200% damage. Damage increased by 30% for every 10% of your missing HP. Interesting. Deep Wound. Mark an enemy for the next 2 turns. Each hit it receives whilst marked reduces their armor by 10 until the end of combat. Having the ability to actually reduce some armor would be nice as well. Discard your hand. For each discarded card, heal for 2 HP and offer 5 armor until the end of combat. Offer 5 armor until the end of combat. Removing that armor from ourselves. I think I'm going to take the Deep Wound right now. And another Tome of... No, Draw is actually easier for us to get. Let's take a Throwing Knife for some damage against the enemy. Free Runestone of rare variety. Every turn increase everyone's damage by 10%. What? Here else, what is the main mechanic of this character? Been a while since I played. This character uses stances to tank up using blocks rather than giving themselves a certain amount of armor or barrier or any of those kinds of things. They block individual quantized attacks. And every turn they don't take damage, they will deal more. Gain 50% damage this turn for every inflicted stun. In armor slot, stun a random enemy every 5 turns. I really don't like the everyone and ultimately negative at some point. Pure. I'll take win. And you know what? Stunning a random enemy every 5 turns I think is going to be better. There's the Blood Frenzy. I mean, if I'm ever going to do the Blood Frenzy, I'd do it right now, right? Now? Right? Now, right now? Right. Should probably wait until I just lower the armor of the Forest Sentinel rather than get cheeky like that, you know? Just insight block and then throw out an onslaught. Three hits incoming. Ooh, baby. I don't really care about my damage this turn, so Refreshing Breeze is an easy thing to throw. I've got 4 things I could play this turn. Okay. I'm gonna Insight the Refreshing Breeze. Then I'm gonna Deep Wound you, stun you as well. Use Pathfinder's ability to get an extra energy. You're stunned, so you're not actually my guaranteed target anymore. So instead, I am going to dedicate attacks towards you. Just to try and lower your armor a bit. It's for the next 2 turns as well. Welcome back to life. I'm gonna quickly drink that healing potion. Starting to feel necessary. Blood Frenzy and block seems good. That's why we did it. Got 10% extra damage this turn. I care about that at all? I don't think I do. Let's just double stun the target that's about to attack us. Get some armor reduction out there. Further lesson why AoE matters. Let's draw 1 card with the Pathfinder ability right now instead. Not exactly what we were looking for. It's, I mean, I have to play Insight afterwards. So it's single attack, Insight on Refreshing Breeze, getting 2 extra energy, single attack, and then single attack over on the left. Get the completion of that. Beautiful. Insight stun also. And that sets up for a small strikes doing decent. So we've got our legendary encounter up next as well, which feels like that's going to be a rough time. Hopefully I get something to kind of be a pinnacle of this build right now. Eternal Control, draw 1 card, Chain. Multiplies the card's effect by the number of cards of the same type played in a row this turn. Blockade being played at the end of a turn is kind of nice as well. Deal 1 hit for 150 damage to a random enemy. Chain, that's so much harder for us. This isn't really helping as much, but it's more block. If 3 or more enemies are alive, gain 1 block at the end of your turn. When you're focused, reduce the energy of the first stance you play this turn by 1. So any turn where I haven't taken damage the previous turn, I get an extra energy. That actually is so much bigger. Overflowing Power, whenever you draw an additional card over your hand limit, increase your damage by 50% until the end of turn. That's also pretty cool, but we'll take Residium. Alright, Legendary Encounter. Don't instantly pop me. Okay, we insight, block, and then blockade. 5 block. Incoming is 4 hits against us. The thing is, I can't prevent 4 hits. Multi-hits is the absolute worst thing that can happen to us. Oh, God. Oh, boy. I mean, you know, it's just inside the block. We're always going to be doing that. I'm also going to use Blood Candle here. And then the healing mixture. I just need to get better weird candles, because I don't think there's any way that this build is going to get past this fight without it. I'm gonna lose 10 armor to stun you, unfortunately putting another unit out on board. Blood Frenzy for some damage. Some refreshing breeze. And attack you. I really like the idea of getting a deep wound on the Awakened Golem and then starting to hit. I don't know if I have the ability to do it this turn, though. Let's probably draw first by base. Just get those 4. Breeze. So, do I have blockade? I do have blockade. I can get really defensive this turn. That's good enough then. Well, that's enough then. We'll use Insight and then Deep Wound on you. So now, for duration of 2 turns, for each hit you receive, you will permanently lose 10 armor, but it's a duration it's stack 2, so it's 20 armor every time. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna have to focus on the hits next turn, because we're gonna use block, refreshing, and then blockade up to 7. So they'll remove 3 of our block, but then with the remaining block, we will have overprotection, draw an additional card for each unused block. And then I have the extra 2 energy and the extra 4 card draws from Pathfinder next turn as well. So then we're looking to attack the Awakened Golem in the middle as much as possible. That's the idea, at least. Tainted Force. Reduce the damage of all enemies by 75% this turn. I don't really care about their amount on damage. Okay. Let's focus up and fly right. I think I'm going to start with an Insight on Deep Wound again on the Awakened Golem. Start out with Blood Frenzy. Seize the opportunity. Seize the opportunity. Then we use Pathfinder for the extra draw. How many? 11 more hits will get you to spawn something now. Okay. Let's use a small strikes. Negative 340 armor until the end of combat. And now I have to generate a block. Great. Tainted Force is also going to reduce 1 card by 2 this turn. Or 2 cards by 1? No, we've got focus, right? 1 card by 2. A Jamble, we can gain a block and an energy, draw a card, offer 10 armor until the end of combat. Happy to do that. Deep Wound again. I really just wish I got blockade there, basically. Let's insight the block, definitely. I think I will actually just go for the 1 draw here as well. We draw another block. Heavily enhancing the ability of Onslaught here. In fact, that has the ability to straight up just kill, guaranteeing the multi-hits from this just hit the backline. Love it. One giant hit as well. Oh, your armor is screwed, friend. Perfect. I think we've got this one. I think we might just have it. Beauty. All right, that's our victory against our first legendary enemy. Ha! Okay, so there was just a question in chat says, no one games. I wonder if there's card removal in this mode. There is. Here we go. Basic strike, obviously the basic attack. Ooh. 2 combat slots for... I don't care about combat slots for items. Armor slot for runestones, weapon slot for runestones. Armor is usually more related to the kinds of things we're going to want. In fact, Cracked Gar probably goes over there now. That AoE free hit at the end of each turn is pretty nice. So we get a free consumable here. I feel like it's probably got to be a healing mixture. 2 fights the Treasure Guardian. So it's just going to continue on combat until basically we die. Cracked Wind stuns a random enemy every 5 turns. Nice. I'm interested to follow its scaling for a while. There's the blockade in hand as well. Insight into blockade. So insight was a chain. That is to say, it was a stance that I played, and then I played blockade. It had chain 1, so it gave us 2 block. And then any play of chain prevents the next chain play, or rather cashes in, and then the next chain play doesn't get the extra benefit. So to duplicate a chain card doesn't give you, you know, the chain base 2 times and then the top. The long and short of this is mimicking that card doesn't get ridiculous. Duplicating chain cards doesn't get ridiculous. So that's going to be 3 extra draw next turn, and then we'll use the Deep Wound on Forest Sentinel to give myself the ability to actually start removing some armor. Speaking of removing armor, they're already removing armor on us. I kind of want to play Blood Frenzy here, but as much as I want to play it, I also desperately want not to have to play it. I didn't ultimately end up actually removing any armor from that character at all that way. Let's use the draw first, I think. So many tools. Barrier, pool of additional HP. Is Offer going to take from that now, though? Kind of need to know. No. Okay, so this is different to the previous run because we know that offering was considered offering in some circumstances and some not. In terms of the modifier that makes you lose 1 life every single time you draw a card. Sorry, play a card. In the previous daily that we were playing. Well, daily, it's a weekly. You're immune to stun. It's Insight, Refreshing Breeze. Without a block. Do I want to get another block? Yeah, let's do it. Just an extra card next turn. Uh-oh. We're actually going to have to deal with the rabbit rat ourselves. Let's Insight the block card, play Blockade afterwards. There we go. Because then the inside card is lethal on basically anyone. And then I have so many blocks that the rabid rat can just die of its own accord later. Catch around, Arthur. Although, just in case I had to draw, or happened to draw, another card there that was relevant. Oh well. We'll just get him this turn. Disruption. Reduce the energy cost of one card in hand by 1. Chain. Oh. It's also target block. Block the next hit of a chosen enemy. So you can chain that, set that up for a much later turn. Retaliate with 1 hit, dealing 50% of the damage received from every hit this turn. So if I receive no damage, this can't do any damage back to the enemies, right? I think it's Disruption. I think we try and make it like absolutely broken deck that just, you know, plays a bunch of things at the very start of the turn and then ends up playing Disruption at the very end of it to discount the entire hand. I'm going to go with the only reliable one here in the ward. Mythical! Gain 1 energy every 3 turns, or at the start of every second turn, gain 1 block. Every second turn. Polish Ing, though. Every enemy has a 10% chance to drop a healing mixture. Every additional card drawn creates 2 barrier. 200% of offered HP is turned into barrier. Interesting. It's either Bjork or Ing. Definitely. I think energy is easier for us to come by, and block is easier for us to come by than healing. And I can also swap this to a different slot if I need to, in order to try and start getting weird candles again. And I think that's just worth. I think we just have to take that even. Back to the Treasure Guardian. The Guardian of the Treasure. Insight. Disruption. So that it cost 3 energy to give me 3 energy back, and the 3 energy that it gave us back was on strange cards here. But what it really did for us is gave us 2 charges in our ultimate. All good? Deep Wound has its cost reduced. Oh, we don't have block available this turn yet. Let's Insight the Deep Wound, then draw 2 cards. Nice, we got the block that we need. I'll use block. And actually, I'm just going to throw out individual attacks here as well to hit the Forest Sentinel as much as possible. Lower its armor a bunch. Nice. And heck, I'll even Refreshing Breeze at the end of the turn. No need not to. Get the ult charge out of it. RNG Cake says, broken deck, let's go. Ideal build won't need healing. While I agree, I feel like there is going to be some distance between me and my ideal build because it still relies on getting some more removals, especially. So I'm going to take the tool that lets me live in the interim. Not always an argument that I would make, but in this specific instance, I feel it's appropriate. Onslaught you. And you, I guess? Alright. I'm gonna use block and then insight. Draw a bunch of cards here. We'll double block and then chain a disruption for 3, decreasing the rest of the hand down to 0, baby. And then I will stun one of you, blockade for 2 more block, and then small and striking. Love to have a big turn that ultimately does nothing. I need an AoE card that I don't pay health to play because, like, I don't want to play Blood Frenzy anymore. Not when I've already got the fight on lock. So that's, like, really heavily slowing us. Yeah, we've just got lethals. Sometimes you just thump until the thumping stops. Divine Will. Reduce the energy of 2 cards in hand by 2. I mean, it's a good card to duplicate the effect of. I don't know if I like it. We've got other cost reduction mechanics in the deck. Like the Disruption, capable of doing a lot more than in a given circumstance. Until we have a lot more 2-cost cards, Divine Will doesn't make that much sense. I'd also want more draw. I think I'm going to take the Quick Attack. Damage that also draws. Start every combat with 3 additional cards is huge as well. Whenever you draw an additional card, increase your damage by 10% until the end of turn. That's also pretty big. God, we draw a lot of additional cards. I'm going to take more options here because I feel like heavy block plays that give me a lot of card draw next turn are really good setups for us right now. So the Undying Subject is using a weak attack and healing, will resurrect to death, and attack its master before its old habits of loyalty and devotion kick back in. So I'm going to need to stun you and then block if I want to take no damage this turn. Contrasting that, though, my body really doesn't want me to, because that's going to be a buff and debuff. I'm actually going to do it, though. Big reason being I want to get at least 1 stack of focus online so that I'm making every single one of my, or the first of every play of my stances less in cost. Reader. Let's use Blood Frenzy right now. That is unfortunate. Is it? No, it's fine. Play that. Basic attack you, use a Refreshing Breeze. And then I'm going to Deep Wound the Grotesque Nobleman. So just because the Undying Subject was just resummoned, it is going to attack its own ally and debuff. Okay. Attack all allies and buff. Interesting. Let's play the draw first. Hand with options. Okay. I'm gonna Insight. Use Pathfinder as an ability. Let's double up on block. Right. Yeah. And then play a Disruption afterwards, decreasing the cost of 4 cards in hand. And then, yeah, the chain has been reset, as you can see. But there's a few things we can set up. One more attack with its draw against you, and let it go, baby. Oh! Savage hit, Undying Subject. I feel like we're just murdering. That's all we need. 10 maximum health. I think I take the 1 current damage again. It's faster scaling because we're able to scale our percentage of increase of our base damage, but if we increase our base damage, obviously the percentage increase is more impactful. 2 fights to our next legendary encounter. I see. Unfortunately, the bounty hunter is going to be really annoying here. I'm going to have to insight stun it. Pause a turn. Start trying to use my extra energy. So 2 incoming damage. Thankfully, insight block already gets us over that line. But now we have, at the end of the turn, we're going to play refreshing and then blockade. Actually, I think I'm just going to only play block this turn. Insight into block. Then I'll block. Then I'll refreshing breeze. Then I'll blockade. So we get 9 block here. 2 of it gets destroyed. And then we draw a bunch of cards for our next hand. Good tools to have, I think, these. There's only 2 incoming instances of damage, so we're already fine. To be clear. In fact, do I have blockade? I do have blockade in hand, so I only have to refreshing breeze and blockade at the end of the turn. There is a disruption in this hand as well. Interesting. I'm gonna insight refreshing breeze, decreasing my damage by 50% already this turn. Then I'm gonna stun you. And draw. Then finally use disruption, decreasing the cost of 5 cards in hand by 1. Nice. There's our 2 block. I'm also probably going to use the Pathfinder ability this turn, to be clear. Small strikes, small strikes, strikes. Against the target for whom it does the largest amount of damage. Pathfinder ability gets us the... Oh, interesting. Am I out of cards to be able to draw? Oh, yeah, I was out of cards to be able to draw because they go to the grave, which is the in-play-ish section. Right, I'd forgotten that. So I got 2 blocks out on board. These onslaughts are pretty big at this point as well. Start whapping him. I really want another non-Blood Frenzy AoE, please, game. I swear I'm worthy. They're debuffing our armor something severely. Not that that really matters as long as we're generating blocks, which we are. Okay, we'll use insight, then a double stun on you. Refresh. Pop deep wounds out there, and then play the disturbance. Actually getting rid of it. Get him with the AoE. Draw first. And there's the disruption again. God, I feel like I'm actually just gonna tank up again. Just blockade. Every turn, we are getting more powerful and we are dealing damage, even while we're doing nothing but defending. It's a good position to be in, but it's not an especially quick position to be in. Draw. Sure, I'll refresh after I throw out a Onslaught. There we go. Onslaught on Usend. Drop the card and we're done. Actually, might just be able to go for the kill. Beautiful. Whew. Please start giving me abilities that are helping me above that. Draw 2 cards. Their cost is reduced by 1. Ooh, this is a way better duplicate target. It's a way better duplicate target. You have to take it. Another blood candle? I mean, I have the ability to generate potions. So yeah, maybe. We already have a single copy of Gar. Let's take a second. Oh, cracked calc. In the first turn of combat, draw 1 additional card with its cost reduced by 1. That's not impactful enough. Heal for 5 HP after each combat one, though. That actually might have been. I'm going to go with the Gar, though. You have to get a 3rd Gar if we're actually going to be joining them together, though. Stun a random enemy every 5 turns. Let's replace that with another AoE hit, I think. And we'll fight to Legendary Encounter. Just because the AoE hits have really proven themselves quite powerful here. I see. Insight disruptions. Yeah, sure, you can trash my hand, that's okay. I'm doing AoE hits at the end of the turn at the absolute least. Blockade is probably our capstone this turn as well. Do I even need to play this out? Increase random cards cost by 1. That could actually matter. Fine. Because I'm going to have a huge hand worth of cards next turn. There we are. There's the disruption in hand as well. Draw 2 cards that cost. Okay, I know how we do this. We'll deep wound you. Oh, this is going to be a good one as well. We'll deep wound you. And then I will use rearrangement, drawing 2 cards and reducing their cost. And then I will incite a refreshing breeze. And then we'll disruption for 5 cards, reducing their cost in hand. Okay. So draw, get a bunch more cards in hand again. Quick attack has its own draw tied to it as well. You've got the deep wound though, so you should be my target for free attacks. One more in the Pathfinder, and then are the Onslaught's going to be enough? No, because we're not actually defending. That's fine. That gets us across the line. Okay, those turns can be really impactful if we focus on them correctly. Reduce the energy cost of 1 card in hand by 1. Reduce the energy cost of 2 cards in hand by 1 on Slow Sai. I still need more draw, is the thing. I'm taking a lot of things that are still requiring me to get more draw. Gain plus 5 armor for each instance of focus. No. Catalyst is the only one I really care about here. Gain 1 ultimate charge at the start of each turn. We're only really going to have, hopefully, 3 turns per fight. But the other ones seemed like they were much less useful for us. Vrand Sullen. This enemy casts powerful boss and inspires his allies to deal a heavy attack whenever his companions die. There's also over here the Renegade Protector. This enemy casts barriers on the entire group and redirects damage. Casts barriers rather and redirects damage against the entire group. Let's rearrange to begin with. Neat. Slow Sai. Man, I kind of want to play my card draw right now. Not what I was hoping to hit. That's fine. And Blockade will ultimately want to go at the end. Let's go. Refreshing Breeze, Insight Block. Blockade. 10 block. Unfortunately, the Onslaught can only hit the target that has the most armor. Would be redirected regardless. Oh boy. Renegade Cutthroat is dealing 5 by 12 and you're dealing a 3 by 4. So without stunning those targets, I'm not capable of really avoiding their damage. Oh boy. There's a Disruption. We've got Disruption Insight. So here's what a lot of our turns will ultimately want to look like. Play a lot of chain cards. A lot of stance cards until they have 1 energy left. Use Insight on Refreshing Breeze, getting 2 energy back, and then use the Disruption. Give you the deep wound so we can actually start removing stuff from you. Let's stun the unit that was going to be doing infinite multi-attacks here. Use Insight on the Refreshing Breeze. Throw out the Disruption, as was all previously mentioned as a plan. Oh man, that's so harsh. We're 1 short of being able to use the ultimate ability. Fine. Still need to do it though. Ugh, just hurts. Okay, we'll blockade for the extra 2. Oh, that's still not gonna save us, is it? 1 damage from you and then... yeah. Oh no, wait, no, it gives us 3 block from that. Actually, we're fine. Let's start attacking then. We need to get rid of you, I think. Right, all of it's still being redirected. Managed to drop a lot of your armor off, Renegade. That could have been a lot worse than it was. Oh boy. Because this is going to be the turn that's really bad instead then. This is not what we want. Draw a card, unfortunately. Okay, that's great. Insight on Rearrangement. Just a handful of cards we can use. Let's drop a block and then a blockade. I think I also will use the Bloody Frenzy here. Yeah, 470 damage over to that target, I think, might just be enough to get him. Inspire his allies and deals a heavy attack whenever his companions die. Oh boy. Let's use the Refreshing Breeze. Actually kind of want to hit Deep Wound on Vran, but it'd be daft of me not to just throw an Onslaught that's like an instant kill against the target there. You kidding me? Of course. I mean, if your heavy attack is just a single attack, we are more than fine with that. There's the Disruption in hand. You're not immune to stun, are you? Forever the Renegade alive, -10 armor, -25% damage. And you apply Unbridled Frenzy at the beginning of the round. So Insight, Refreshing Breeze before Disruption is the end of this turn. What's the start? Probably remove some armor from you. Stun you. Insight, Refreshing Breeze hits the Disruption, decreasing the cost of literally the entire hand. Then play the Pathfinder ability. And keep going. Oh, we're not done yet. We're not done until they're all dead. Rearrangement gets us all the way to the blockade. Love to see it. Use draw and then blockade for 5 block on this turn. That means the onslaught has plus 6 is plus 300% damage on this card right now. Now we're starting to actually lower your armor as well. Are we? Yeah, Deep Wound was on you. Why did those hits not reduce your armor? Strange. Don't have the Refreshing Breeze in this hand. Uh-oh. Just want to get as many multi-hits out on the target as possible. Maybe I just small strike, something like that. I'm gonna start with the small strikes. And then even the quick attack. There we do get the Refreshing Breeze in that hand now. Okay, let's draw. That is the Disruption I was looking for as well. So now we only need 1 more played. Actually, I'll use Rearrangement. It's these 2 attacks in hand. Throw both of those out. Oh, that canceled my chain. That was bad. That was bad. I ruined it near the end. Insight. Refreshing Breeze. Unfortunately, the Disruption is now only 2 on its chain. Yeah, that's my bad. I shouldn't have played the attacks in the middle there. Other than that, that was perfect execution, I think. Insight on Rearrangement just gives us a really good hand, pretty consistently. Slow side, decrease the cost of our hand. Let's block. Let's offer some damage and then reduce the cost of every card in hand. 0 across the board, baby. Small strike. Small strike. Quick attack. Attack. Oh, good damn. Oh, we ran out. Just got another card from the deck. Yeah, there's so many in here still. Get the attacks out. Perseverance. When you use the ultimate ability with 12 charges, reduce the energy cost of all cards drawn by 1? Interesting. When you use the ultimate ability with 6 or more charges, gain 3 block. Or, whenever you use the ultimate ability, draw 1 additional card for every 3 charges consumed. I feel like I'm already good with my draw as soon as I get off the mark, like near the start. Let's go with Perseverance. I'll definitely take the healing potion there as well. Probably gonna have to pop 2 of those in this fight. I mean, stun blockade seems like our best play here. Stun the target that's gonna buff. Blockade, getting 2 block. We also get an extra draw this turn because of the unused block from last turn. Insight into Rearrangement. Nice. Just a slow sigh. If I play 2 more cards, I can get a lot more draw out of this turn. Play a block. And then probably a Deep Wound on you. Go for the draw immediately as well. Disruption is chain 6 right now. Let's make it chain 7, and then disrupts the entire hand. That's why I included disruption. It was 5 energy positive right there on play. Okay, so stunning a chosen enemy on the one that's going to be doing a multi-attack, and then get 2 blockade chain, and then it's just attack central. Really like to kill you before you do your summon, if at all possible. Looks like it was. Man, I'm low rolling on damage against you constant. Oh no, you've got 50 base armor. Explain it. 1 HP left on the target. Ugh. Insight into rearrangement. Just really enjoyed that specific combo a lot recently. Yes. Stun you. Again, you're never allowed to get out 8 attacks. Excuse me. Go for the draw into refreshing breeze. And then I have all of my energy back if I need it. Let's do it. Let's get that from Pathfinder, and then I'm going to play Blockade, and suddenly all of these onslaughts are lethal. I love them constantly getting up, immediately taking a bunch of hits, goes back down, gets back up, immediately takes a bunch of hits, gets back down. Draw 2 cards, then gain 30 armor this turn. There's also Small Blessing. Draw a card. It costs 0 energy this turn. That's actually pretty relevant still. Reduce the energy cost of 3 cards in hand by 1. Yeah, Small Blessing is a really good tool, a really good stepping stone between us and our ultimate ability. So is the Oversaturated Runestone there, baby. Gain 50%. No. Wait, we have a cracked win. We just don't have it installed at the moment. Every turn, increase the damage of the first hit by 100%. In the armor slot, reduce the energy of the 5th card played in a turn by... Baby. That's incredible. Like, absolutely insane. Absurd. Affected humans out on the board. Small strike, small blessing. Insight. Deep wound. I think I'm going to insight the small blessing here. Nice. Refreshing breeze. Deep wound on. I mean, you're not really going to propagate it across other targets, but that's fine. Go to blockade, and then onslaught is finally huge. Do I really want to throw the ability this? Maybe I throw the ability this turn. No. That felt okay. Amphid says, I wonder if they changed the misery scaling since the one run I did in beta. Well, we're just past the 2nd legendary and level 10, in case that gives you a reasonable idea. Okay. Let's go insight on rearrangement. Lock. Refreshing breeze, good. We have that for later. Slow sigh. Slow sigh hits a bunch of other things here. Nice. Okay, small blessing. We do actually still have 1 energy available naturally from this turn. Disruption doesn't even need to be here. Like, all of the head is already reduced. Ridiculous. Yeah, I should probably cash in the chain then on blockade. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh. Oh no, that was from the effect of Pjort. No, they don't actually cost that little. Oh. Oh well. That means I'm suddenly going to have to do a lot more. I guess I'm fine with. There we go. Disruption at the end of the turn. Hit a bunch of things again. Already used the ability this turn, I think. Didn't I? Nope. Used it last turn. We used it again. Getting the ultimate ability off every single turn is pretty good. And that cancels our chain. All right, we have no more cards to draw at all. We've gone too deep. I wish that had the ability to kill both. I was just checking there just in case it had been changed. Let's start out with a slow sigh. Oh no, an insight slow sigh, I think. It did hit disruption once, which is pretty appealing already. Go block, block. Oh my god, and then there's the Pjort card. Sorry, not Pjort, the Ur card. The cost reduction here. Fine, then we'll do disruption after that. I think I will actually play the Blood Frenzy at the very end here. Not at all certain it was worthwhile, but I did want to do it. Even though it's costing us HP. Speaking of costing us HP, let's use some HP. Just playing out so many damn things every single turn. Energy is no longer a concern for us. Draw is no longer really a concern for us. We just need to remove damage pieces from our deck until we just have one damage card now. One big damage card that do everything. Try to stun the enemy, 50% chance, and deal one hit for 125% damage. Deals double damage to stunned enemies. We don't actually stun our enemies that much. Gain 40 armor for 2 turns. Upgrade, if used when under 25% of your max HP, 25, increase the cast duration by 1 turn. They grow permanently more powerful used under certain conditions. Interesting. And then there's Desperate Meshes again. I think I take none of these. Like, they don't seem like they actually assist us here. Gain 1 energy after playing the 6th card in a turn. Gain 1 energy while fighting in weirdness. Wait. While fighting in weirdness. So is that exclusively when you have no light remaining? Also, there's Overflowing Power. Whenever you draw an additional card over your hand limit, increase your damage by 50% until the end of the turn. What is your hand limit? I never really figured it out in this game because it feels like sometimes I have 20 cards in hand and sometimes I have 10. Hand limit is, you want to say 16? Overflowing Power seems like a really good way to get some damage though. I just said, like, we've got as much energy and as much draw as we want. Now we just need damage. Overflowing Power is not damage. I'm gonna take it. Fight the Treasure Guardian. Oh boy. Oh, that's not good. That's 6 quantized attacks coming in this turn. We need a weird candle. I'm gonna Insight slow sigh. Draw a card. Oh god. Draw another card. Oh god. This is really going to hurt. Oh no. Hey enemies, please take it easier on me. You are immune to stuns, says the giant worm serpent. Of course, says I. Reduce the armor of all enemies by 25 until the end of combat. I feel like is pretty essential for us. Stunning the enemies who's doing the multi-hits over there also makes a bunch of sense. Play Insight and then use the ability. Doubling up Refreshing. Play out naturally the draw. 3 energy left. Small Blessing draws a card, and then Disruption discounts the cost of the entire hand. Except it doesn't discount the cost of the blockade at all. I should have not done that. Because now I'm undefended. Save this one block here at least. I think I do use Bloody Frenzy in this fight as well. Use the Warding Law also. The idea here being that you'll hit my block and then you'll hit my barrier. Nice. Get a bigger hand with the draw first, I think. Definitely stand by it. We'll Insight the Slow Sigh. Increasing the cost of a lot of cards in hand. Small Blessing out. Still feeling kind of short here. Let's play Pathfinder, I think. Just need to get it out more than I need the energy from it. Stun you. So quick attack? Is that enough? Nope. But I do need to get that extra block. I can play every 5th card, right? Oh no, it's just the 5th card played in a turn, not every 5th card. Uh-oh. That's a lot worse. I'll die at the end of the turn to our AoE. Just you and me, bud. Insight into rearrangement. Easy. We'll Refreshing and then Disruption, discounting the cost of the entire hand again, then block and then blockade, and we are set. Woo! Took us a while to get here, but we are safe now. Once we're generating excess block every single turn, we're going to be generating so many cards that we will have the ability to do basically whatever we want with the enemy. Go with the natural draw first. Insight into rearrangement for even more draw. Oh, Disruption's actually cost reduced though. Let's play Small Blessing and then Disruption for 5 cards with their cost reduced in hand. It's offering our energy in order to do that. I can defend for 2 at the end of the turn with the blockade as well. Or 3 even. Refreshing breeze. Slow sigh. Didn't actually decrease the cost of anything else important, unfortunately. We get another blockade out, though. That'll do it. You know what? I'm even going to use the ability this turn. Wasn't thinking I was going to do it, but look, you've forced me into it. Beauty. Wait. Insight the rearrangement. This is all way too much to need to do, but I'm fine with it at least. And then the chain on this is 4 right now, so we'll play that out, keeping the decreased cost of a lot of these cards. And Onslaught. Beautiful. That's our 3rd Treasure Guardian. Let's get the extra damage again. And then we're working our way to our 3rd legendary encounter. If we do manage to just completely escape the curve of the game, then at some point I will call it, but I don't think we're there yet. Insight Slow Sigh. There's another card there. We're not going to be able to chain off of that. Pathfinder. Not going to be able to chain off of that either. Wow, are we dead? I got no defensive tools in my opening hand there. I think we're dead. There's the only block. Oh my god. Blood Frenzy does a lot of damage. It's gonna be necessary here. It kills one of them. 1, and then you have to low roll on your damage for me to not die here. The game did hear me disrespecting it, clearly. Alright, low roll on your damage. Oh boy. The only health point that matters. I mean, we just inside the block 100% of the time there. No self-healing. Okay, both of them are buffing this turn. Inside rearrangement, doubles up on rearrangement. Slow sign for decrease. That's a decrease there as well. We get a cost reduction on this turn. I think you're already cost reduced, but I'll play you out anyhow. Okay. And then after all that, refreshing breeze into disruption. All hands, 0 cost. I like that eventually every fight we can get here, but there's so much cruft in this deck. The small strikes even need to get cut. Didn't realize it was going to be resummoning a bunch of enemies there. Oh, Small Blessing didn't even have anything to draw there. Yeah, I guess we'll stun him. Oh boy, they've got a lot of damage. Okay, I had a lot of block from the last turn as well. Man. 15. What's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I have 16 cards in hand. I don't know if I can even go above my draw limit right now. Oh, I mean, I can try by using the card draw, but it's my only energy remaining. I tried, and did we get... Yeah, plus 250% damage in 1 turn. Okay, that's pretty sick. Let's slot you. And enough small strikes will get it. Beautiful. Whew. Yeah, that fight really tried to kill us. I hope I managed to get some HP out of it. Next turn, increase your damage by 100%. No. Deal 1 hit for 300% damage. Reduce the enemy's armor by 25 until the end of combat. We have ways of reducing the enemy's armor already, and we're low on defense and high on attack. Don't think we want any of those. Create 20 barrier, I guess. Helps us live. Increase your max HP by 30. Heal 5 for each combat you've won. I'll take a cracked calc, but I don't think I use it here. That was a... Oh, that wasn't the legendary fight. That was the second towards the legendary fight. Okay, I think we're probably screwed. I say screwed. This is still a fairly long, endless run. Insight hits slow psi, hits draw. Incoming is 3 attacks. I have the ability to block 2 of them. Use both of my free blocks to set up Pathfinder and Small Blessing. No. Still short. Okay, so we'll quick attack you. And then Refreshing Breeze into Rearrangement. Oh, Disruption's just too far. There's our Warding Law. Good thing I picked it up. No. They increase the damage across the party. Not having the ability to drop any more blocks there ultimately took us out. Wow. Oh boy, those are pretty long. Where are we? Okay, so 50 gets you already top 30. Oh boy. Yeah. I needed to have more health support. Obviously now I know the mode a little better. One thing that's pretty good. Good lord. Do not like looking at the names on that leaderboard. Yeah, it went fine. Now I know the availability of health and the availability of the run, the way in which it is formatted. I would be able to utilize it a little better. Obviously, that was more of an exploration, but still good exploration nonetheless in my mind.